Hello and welcome to the Carolinas Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admissions Officers Virtual College Fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event today. My name is Jennifer and I'm your facilitator. We have some great schools that are really excited to share sneak peeks into all that they have to offer. But before we get started, I have a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can, though, use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our panelists at any time. You can leave a question for all of our representatives to answer about their particular schools, or you can direct a question to a specific school by including the name of the school with your question. That way, the presenter will know that you want to hear from them. This is just one of many different sessions that are happening for transfer students in the Carolinas. We hope that you've checked out the schedule on the website and have signed up for additional sessions to follow. If you haven't, it's not too late, so we hope that you will head to strivescan.com/Carolinas to sign up for those sessions. This presentation, like all presentations, is being recorded, and they will all be available at that same website where you sign up, strivescan.com/Carolinas. All right, well, I'm very excited to turn it over to our very first school. We will be hearing from UNC Charlotte.
All right. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Jamie Dawkins. I'm the Assistant Director for Transfer Admissions at UNC Charlotte, and I am so excited to talk to you a little bit about Niner Nation. So I'm here to talk to you especially about our transfer students, as we are the largest transfer institution in the state of North Carolina. We're located about 9 miles outside of the center city of Charlotte. So I tell students what's really nice about that is you have access to all the great things that a big city like Charlotte has to offer, but you're not right in the middle of the hustle and bustle of it. So our students have access to a beautiful, fast-growing institution. We're actually the fastest growing in the state, which makes a lot of sense when you think about the center city of Charlotte and how it has experienced growth over the last couple of years. That growth has certainly made its way to our campus, and we're really excited about it. That growth brought one really cool thing, that is the light rail, which is an above ground subway system that currently connects our university to the big city of Charlotte. So it's actually a train or above ground system where you show your student ID, you ride for free, and in about 25 minutes, you're in downtown Charlotte with access to co-ops, to internships, to festivals and concerts and sporting events, maybe even a great restaurant. So our students feel very connected to the city, and our city partners feel very connected to our students. Currently, we hit record enrollment this past year. More than 30,000 students are currently on our campus. All 50 states are represented, and 41% of our students are self-identifying as part of an underrepresented population. We also have over 100 countries represented in our student body. So students should expect kind of a diverse and a global experience as a Niner. And we hope that you're excited about that. We know it's going to prepare you for whatever work environment you may find yourself in the future. Our students are widely involved in our over 400 student organizations. And I always tell folks, if you can't see anything that works for you, just grab 7 of your closest friends and bring it to fruition. We're always looking for our students to leave their mark on Niner Nation. We are a Division I sport school. We have 18 Division I sports as well as club and intramural opportunities, and more than 70 study abroad opportunities for students as well. As of now, we have 171 majors, all housed within different academic colleges. Our student faculty ratio is 20-1, and our average classroom size is 35. I always think that that's an impressive number to share with students, especially my transfer students, because you can truly anticipate the vast majority of your classes being close to that average classroom size, and in some cases even smaller. Right now, 80% of our classes have fewer than 50 students in them, so you really can look forward to that close-knit community where you can interact with your faculty members and have discussion-based classroom setting. In terms of our campus, the other thing I like to highlight is the transfer admissions requirements. Just very briefly, we're looking for 24 transferable credit hours, a minimum 2.0 GPA, and you do need to be in good standing with your most recent institution in order to come to us. When you're ready to apply, you will submit an online application through our app on our website or CFNC. There's a $75 application fee, and we do need an official high school transcript as well as an official college transcript from all of our students. Our deadlines are on the screen. If you're thinking about spring 22, now's a great time to apply. That deadline's coming up quickly on November 15th. And then of course, our summer and fall 2022 applications are live now as well. We do have a few majors that are slightly more competitive, so just be mindful if you're interested in computer science, engineering, business, or nursing. You may want to check out our website for those majors' additional requirements beyond the 24 hours and a 2.0. We also encourage you to get through math prior to transferring to streamline that transfer a little bit. I also know that the financial side of transfer is very important. Be completing your FAFSA now. The 22-23 FAFSA just went live a few weeks ago. If you're thinking about transferring to us at any point during the 22-23 FAFSA, add UNC Charlotte to it. If you're thinking about this spring, make sure you go back to that 21-22 FAFSA you did last year and add us on that one as well. We also have transfer scholarships available. Once a student's admitted to the university, they can then use our Niner Scholars portal, which will match them with the scholarships they're eligible for, and they can then go through and apply to those of interest. One thing I will tell students, transfer students especially, living on campus is certainly an option. We're actually seeing an increase in students wanting to live on our campus, and we'd love for you to come and take advantage of that as well. We have a number of suite and apartment styles available, but of course, if on-campus housing is not your cup of tea or not what you're looking for, we do have some off-campus housing options available as well. And we even have a program known as Niner Choice, which helps you search through the local apartment complexes in our area, identify ones that we've given the stamp of approval to that we know are great fits for our students. I do encourage all transfer students to visit campus. To see campus is to love campus, and we want you to visit us. We offer various visit opportunities throughout the year. We recently just had our Explore UNC Charlotte event, which was an open house, and we'll have additional ones in the spring. We are offering weekly tours, both virtually and in person, and this includes an information session from admissions, a walking tour from a current student, and the opportunity to connect and see campus in a new light. Transfer students are always the ones that hesitate to visit, but we know you will love it, and we want you to come get that transfer-specific experience. Additionally, happy National Transfer Student Week. It is finally here, and we are celebrating you guys all week long with a number of events. So please be sure to follow us, Charlotte Admissions, on Facebook and Instagram. We are hosting various events, especially on Instagram this week. You'll see some transfer student highlights. You'll even see us go live on Wednesday night, and we'll do a takeover on Friday to answer your questions live throughout the day. We're also hosting a couple events this week. Tomorrow, we have our Charlotte at Sunset tour experience. We do still have some spots open for registration, so you can certainly register on our website. And we have our virtual UNC Charlotte Day experience taking place on Thursday evening, which is an opportunity for you to not only hear from admissions, housing, and financial aid, but also hear from some of our different academic colleges. The last little bit I'll share with you is our contact information. We have an entire transfer team dedicated to supporting you and helping make your transfer as seamless as possible. Right now, about 50% of our students at UNC Charlotte are transferred, and so we know that this is a great place for you to call home. You can come to us, make it your home, finish out that education, and have a wonderful experience. And our team here on the screen is happy to help you. Feel free to take a screenshot, contact us directly, and let us know how we can support you in making Niner Nation your home. Thank you all so much for having me today.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Jamie, for starting us off and for representing Charlotte and sharing more today. All right, we're on to School 2. We're going to be hearing from the Georgia Institute of Technology.
Hey everyone, Chad Bryant here. I'm the Associate Director of Undergraduate Admission at Georgia Tech. Happy to be with you all, and thanks for joining. I'm going to share my screen real fast and get started telling you a little bit about Georgia Tech in Atlanta, Georgia. If you haven't visited us, we are located in the downtown Atlanta area. We have a 400-acre campus right in the large metropolitan area, and we are one of 26 public institutions in the state of Georgia. We are actually part of the University System of Georgia, if you're not familiar with that. So our official name is Georgia Institute of Technology, but for short, we go by Georgia Tech.
Hey, Chad, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I wanted to double check on the screen share because we're not seeing anything yet.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. It's why I wanted to pop in.
Okay, let's try.
I was like, we got to have a pause.
There we go. Hopefully you can see.
Yes. All right. We're getting somewhere now. I'll let you go. All good.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah, so if you haven't visited our campus, there's a brief little snapshot of it, but obviously you can go to the URL there to do kind of a virtual visit. And we are doing in-person visits right now, and on transfer, we do those on a weekly basis, kind of every other week, in person as well as virtual. And we'll have a lot of different activities throughout this week in terms of this Instagram takeovers and student takeovers, and our Transfer Student Association is working with us a lot in terms of Nationals Transfer Student Week activities. So definitely keep in contact with us. Check out the URL and check out our Georgia Tech Instagram. But in terms of our academics, wanted to give you a brief overview of what we provide. We are not a large comprehensive university. We are very STEM focused. We have 36 majors in 6 colleges with, Georgia Tech largely branded in the College of Engineering and the College of Computing, but we also have great programs in business and the sciences and the liberal arts, as well as our College of Design, which offers architecture, industrial design, music technology, and recently added building construction as well. You'll see our undergraduate population is just under 17,000, but once you add in our graduate population, we are at 40,000 plus, but in undergraduate education, about 20% of our graduates this year were transfer students, and we enrolled our highest transfer student population to date this year with over 1,300 transfer students. So you can see our profile as well as our application requirements online at transfer.godtech.edu. That gives you a sense of our retention rate as well as our percentage of classes that have less than 50 students. Applying the academic learning to our real world experiences is an important part of our students' experience. So you will see a lot of our students do one or more of these activities listed on the screen. Whether it's work, we have the largest voluntary co-op program in the country, but a lot of students, especially transfers, do internships in case they just want to work and take a break from school for one semester or potentially 2 semesters. You will also see research opportunities. Half of our over $1 billion budget is due to research awards. So whether it's on an institutional level through our Georgia Tech Research Institute, whether it's through your academic college, or maybe it's just an individual faculty member, you will find that over 3,400 of our students do some type of research experience as part of their education. But maybe an international experience is more of what you're interested in. We do have 2 campuses abroad, one in China as well as one in France, where students can go and not only study abroad, but actually be able to continue their coursework and progress towards their degree requirements. Perhaps you're more business minded and want to develop your own business. You'll find that we have a number of programs that can kind of help mentor students. We have a lot of fun competitions, a lot of project-oriented organizations that can really help inspire you to not only kind of create, but also be able to support your own individual venture. So, and you also see a lot of businesses and organizations make that happen for us. One of the unique things in being in downtown Atlanta is our close proximity to a lot of Fortune 500 companies. And so we'll talk a little bit about that in just a minute, but in terms of campus life, there's no shortage of opportunities to get connected, whether it's, you want to, start your own business, or whether you want to be in intramurals, or whether it's an arts related group, Greek life, about a third of our students do Greek life, or you want to participate in Division I sports. There's a number of different opportunities that you can kind of connect with, and you can go online to our jacket pages online and find an organization or maybe an activity that really speaks to you and connects with you as well. But it's hard to talk about Georgia Tech without talking about Atlanta, because we've kind of grown up together over the years. We were founded in 1885 as of the Reconstruction of the South, and we were kind of the first thing on North Avenue before there was everything else there in the picture. So Tech Tower used to be the tallest building in Atlanta at one point in time, but we have a lot of Fortune 500 companies, whether it be Delta, whether it be the Southern Company, NCR, AT&T, that are located in Atlanta. But Atlanta is also a great home to a lot of nonprofits like the Care Center, the Carter Center, as well as the CDC. Hopefully our professional sports teams attract you as well. We're hoping our Braves can make it to the World Series this year, but we want you to know that you're going to have a great return on investment during your time at Georgia Tech. You're going to engage with faculty, you're going to engage with alumni, business, and industry. And a lot of our students have multiple job offers at the point of graduation, and that slide there can kind of give you a sense of their average starting salary, as well as those companies that are coming onto our campuses and really wanting to have our students join their companies as part of internship. Want to end with just a way to reach out to us, whether it's via email or by phone. You can also scan the QR code there for a lot more information about the Institute. So stay in touch with us this week, reach out to us through our social media, and thanks again for participating.
Thank you so much, Chad, for presenting on Georgia Tech. We are moving on to our next school. We're going to be hearing from Barton College. And just a reminder to our attendees, don't forget about the Q&A. You can drop questions in there for any of our representatives at any time to help personalize the experience or to double check on something that you heard and to learn more. Great. Jill, we can see your screen. So whenever you're ready to come online. Oh, now I can see you, but I don't see the screen share. We all know Zoom Live, don't worry.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. All right, so my name is Jill Hilliard. I am the Associate Director for Transfer Admissions at Barton College. Just to tell you a little bit more about Barton. If you're unfamiliar, Barton is a small private liberal arts institution. We are located 45 minutes east of Raleigh and about 45 minutes west of Greenville. So we're nestled right there in the eastern part of North Carolina. One thing about Barton definitely is that Barton is on a first name basis because again, we are very small. So the students love the fact that their professors are their mentors and the professors really care about them, and they also know about them. So they'll see them in the cafeteria or wherever on campus and say, great job on that paper, or what happened on that exam, or anything that they'll do to help their students out. So they do have a good relationship. Some quick facts, we are the Barton Blue Bulldogs. We just had our another football game this past Saturday. We won. We beat a team that was undefeated, so we were very excited about that on campus. The average class size at Barton is 16. Total enrollment is 1,100. And the student faculty ratio is around 11:1. So at Barton, there are different schools and departments. Obviously, you can see the screen here. All of these schools do not require you to apply to those before you actually enroll, with the exception of our School of Nursing. That is a little bit different. With that, here's a list of all of our majors that we do offer. It is over 50 majors. So if you're interested in anything other than engineering or computer technology, we certainly have something for everyone. Our top majors are bold in blue there: business, elementary education, exercise science, and nursing. And although those are our largest majors, certainly if you're interested in anything in mass communication, audio recording, broadcast, if you're interested in any of the social sciences, social work or history, anything within the sciences, certainly we have a lot that will cover you, and the pre-professional program. So if you're interested in pre-law or pre-dentistry, we have that as well at Barton. Barton is a Division II institution, and we are in the Southeast Conference Carolinas. We're in the Southeast region. So here's a list of all of our men and women's sports in athletics. So let's talk a little bit about admissions. I'm the one and only person within our office of 14 that works with transfer students. My job is to bring in close to 1/3 of our incoming class or transfer students. So transfer students at Barton, they're a big class for our fall admission. So it's as simple as completing the online application. Our application is free. You do not have to wait for the free application week. So at any point in time, you can submit the free online application. This is the QR code. If you'd like to take a screenshot of that, certainly it'll take you right to our application. So I encourage all students to go ahead and submit the application. We accept applications a year in advance. So right now I'm working with spring 22 and fall 22. So if you are interested, submit the application. It's pretty easy to do and it doesn't cost you anything. The next step in the admissions process is for you to submit all official college transcripts. So once I receive those official college transcripts, we're going to be providing you with a full evaluation on a clear and precise check sheet. I'm going to be personally emailing you that check sheet so that you will know exactly what's transferring in from your previous colleges and where they're best applied for your major. Once we receive all of your official college transcripts, it's my job to work towards getting you accepted. So I can accept you with as little as a 2.0 and is minimal of 12 transferable credits. So if your GPA is a 3.5 or 3.25 or greater, then that is worth $12,000. If your GPA is a 2.85, that's $10,000. And at a 2.5, that's $9,000 with a transfer incentive. And all students receive the $5,000 transfer opportunity grant. So for students who fall between that 2.0 and 2.5 GPA, then they're still receiving some sort of grant from the admissions office. Also, we offer the PTK scholarship. So if you are a Phi Theta Kappa member, please, all you have to do is scan a copy of your certificate to me and I will award that additional scholarship to you. Once I work towards getting you accepted, the next step is financial aid. So obviously, hopefully you're aware of completing the FAFSA. If not, that is definitely something that I highly encourage you to do. The FAFSA Barton's code is right here on your screen. So when you complete the FAFSA, you will need to go ahead and once you receive your financial aid award package, we can go over that together to make sure that you're satisfied with that. The last step is for you to submit the online tuition deposit. Once you do that, you're eligible to register for our orientation. We have lots of visit opportunities. We'd love to have you on campus. We just hosted our first in-person this fall last Friday, and we are hosting another in-person transfer open house on November the 13th. But certainly you can visit our website and you can schedule at any individual or a Saturday visit.
Thanks, Jill. We've hit the end of the time. I want to make sure we get your contact information there. And I also want to remind all of our panelists that you can put your contact information in the chat so our attendees can snag that and follow up to visit and learn more about opportunities in and out of the classroom. So keep an eye on that chat today. So thanks, Jill. Okay, we are moving on to our next school. We're going to be learning about Johnson & Wales University.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. And we are Johnson & Wales University. My name is Eve, and I am joined along with Marisa, who is another admissions representative at Johnson & Wales. So we do have two different beautiful campuses, one in Providence, Rhode Island, and one here in Charlotte, North Carolina, located right in the heart of Uptown. Today, I will be focusing on our Charlotte location, but if anyone has any Providence questions, we can happily answer those as well. On our Charlotte campus, we do have 4 different colleges. We have the College of Food Innovation and Technology, our College of Business, our College of Hospitality, and our College of Arts and Sciences. Under all those different colleges, we do have all of the exciting majors that you see displayed on the screen. And with all of our majors, we focus on experiential education. What experiential education means to us is learning by doing. At Johnson & Wales, we believe that learning through memorization and regurgitation are non-effective learning methods. So that's why we want you to learn through hands-on experiences. One of the ways that we practice that is through our industry-based learning labs, which are learning settings that are very similar to what you might experience in the workforce. We place you in those settings so that you can be comfortable, confident, in that industry once you do go ahead and graduate. You will also have access to more traditional classrooms. At Johnson & Wales, we do not have any lecture halls, only small, intimate classrooms. We have about 18 students or so per class, and all of your professors do have on average 15 years of experience in the industry that they are teaching. So you not only get a professor, but you also get a mentor, a great source for networking, someone that can match you with really great job opportunities down the line, and more importantly, someone that is very familiar with current trends and patterns that we are seeing in those industries, which is information you cannot get from a textbook. So that's one of the Johnson & Wales differences. You will also be able to learn from other students, and that's because on our Charlotte campus, we do have about 1,500 students that come from 38 different states and 9 different countries. That makes us one of the most diverse schools in the state of North Carolina. So by the time you leave Johnson & Wales, you will have a wider global perspective. Now, another thing that we use to teach our students through hands-on experiences is our internship program. Our internship program is quite robust. We do have over 300 different sites for you to select from. And we allow you to pursue this internship up to a full semester full time. That's right, you heard that correctly. That means that instead of going to class, you would be going straight to your internship that entire semester, but you will still receive classroom credits. So you will not graduate a semester later, you will still graduate on time. The only difference is that instead of learning in class, you would be learning in the real world. So if you are in love with us, the feeling is mutual. We are in love with you as well. So I do want to talk about the next steps. To apply for admission, you can do so for free year-round, not only during CFNC week, either on our website or on the Common App. Our website is jwu.edu. You can go ahead and submit your transcripts for high school and college. And if you have a GED certificate instead, you can submit that instead of your high school diploma. We are test optional. We do not require the ACT or the SAT, and we do work on a rolling admissions basis. That means that we review applications in the order that they are received as long as you submit your application by March 1st. We also strongly suggest that you submit the FAFSA. We do share the same FAFSA code with our Providence campus, which you will see on here. And I also want to share some exciting news. Over 92% of our students do receive some form of institutional financial aid. So that means that when you submit your application, we go ahead and use your transcripts as your merit-based financial aid application as well. So based on your transcripts, we will determine if you are eligible for any merit-based scholarship. And if you are, that amount is renewable every year that you are at Johnson & Wales. And we do have transfer opportunities for academic scholarships as well. So those scholarship opportunities are not exclusive to freshmen. They are also available for transfer students. Now, I know a big concern of yours might be, will my credit transfer over? And the answer is more than likely it will, as we do have a very liberal transfer policy. We do try to award our students a maximum amount of transfer credits. For you to submit your credits, make sure you submit your transcripts for all prior higher ed institutions that you have attended, and you can submit them through different ways. I do encourage you to take a screenshot of this so you can see the different ways that you can go ahead and submit those transcripts. Once you submit those transcripts, our team will go over the information. We first and foremost make sure that you have at least a C in that class. If you do, we then go ahead and look into the course description and see if those descriptions align with your curriculum for your specified major here at Johnson & Wales. I also invite you to use a resource that we have called the TES, the Transcript Evaluation System, which you can find online if you go onto Google and just type in JWU TES, and you click on the very first option. You will see a website that looks like this, and in the middle where it says institution search, you are going to go ahead and type in the name of your current or previous school, and then you select the correct one. Then it will populate a list like this. On the left-hand side, it'll show you classes that have historically transferred over in the past, and it'll show you the classes that it transfers over to as here at Johnson & Wales. So you can get a preview of what could potentially transfer over. And now I do invite you to take a picture of the screen as well. We are here to answer questions. We are available to meet with you one-on-one via Zoom, through phone, or come visit us on campus at Johnson & Wales. Thank you so much for your time. I can't wait to review your applications.
Thank you so much, Eve, for presenting on Johnson & Wales for us today. Our next school that we'll be hearing from is Reed College.
And thank you, Jennifer. Just going to share my screen real quick. Okay, hello everybody, and thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Grant Sewell, Senior Assistant Dean of Admission at Reed College in Portland, Oregon, so shifting over to the West Coast, but really delighted to be able to talk to you today and share some more information with you about Reed. So Reed is a small liberal arts college. We're a community of about 1,500 students, and so transfer students definitely make up a great part of our community. And the environment at Reed is very collaborative, it's very tight-knit, it's very communal. So, you know, our classes are really small. On average, you have about 16 students in a class with you. And the classroom environment is very discussion-focused. And the great thing to know about that is transfer students definitely, you know, lend a really exciting voice to those classroom experiences and through those discussions. And as I'm sharing more information with you about Reed, I hope the screen that I have here will kind of illuminate just some kind of fun facts so you can get to know the community. But as I said, we're located in the city of Portland. We're about 5 miles from downtown Portland in a suburban Southeast Portland neighborhood. So you kind of get the benefit of a quiet campus experience, but then you're right in the city and you're super well connected to, a lot of different industry, from like Nike, Adidas, Columbia Sportswear, to IBM and Tektronix. So wide variety of kind of different ways to get hands-on experience. And that's really something we strive to be able to do for our student body, is kind of getting you access to those types of experiences throughout your time here as well. So on the academic side, as I said, it tends to be very collaborative and conference-based, and students really are empowered to get to know their faculty. So faculty not only at Reed teach all the classes, but they also do all the academic advising as well. So the great thing there is, like, for students that are trying to get, involved in like internships or experiences, or maybe you might be a student who's thinking of going on to like graduate or doctoral programs. Faculty are in a really strong position to be able to write really compelling letters of recommendation for you, and to really kind of be able to, put you in the best position possible to be able to succeed. Also, for all of our students, everyone gets to do a senior thesis. So kind of a culminating experience, a project that could contain some scientific research, or it could be something that's more experience-based. We've had students who have done their own senior play, like wrote their own play and actually had the play performed. So a variety of kind of different ways that could look. On the social community side, our approach to community is really through creating as many inclusive spaces as we possibly can. And what I mean by that, as at Reed, we don't have any exclusive clubs or groups. So we're a big club community, and everyone can participate in whatever club they would like. So regardless of your background, your training, your experience, everyone's empowered to be able to do that. So I would say, you can definitely kind of feel empowered to kind of join or participate in whatever you would like to. We're a community that's also really involved in leaving the community stronger than when we found it. So a lot of volunteer opportunities on campus, and that definitely could be like with the city of Portland, or it could just be kind of in the wider Portland metropolitan area. And we really kind of look to our transfer students to kind of, lead by example in that way, and kind of lend their voices, their talents and experience to those particular spaces. Reed's also primarily a residential campus. And so transfer students are kind of in the unique position that you don't have to live on campus, but you're very welcome. And we create spaces for students to be able to do that. And kind of a good thing to know, especially if you're considering a transfer decision and, maybe looking in state, out of state, just kind of seeing what's out there. As Reed, we only have a very small percentage of our overall community come from our home state of Oregon. So the beautiful thing with that is we see students from just a variety of different areas. Also, a lot of international students seek out Reed. So just know you'd be in good company as you're getting to know the community and building kind of connections at Reed while you're here. On the application side, our approach to the application is through a holistic lens. So essentially what that means is we spend time getting to know you through all the pieces of the application that you submit. So your transcripts, letters of recommendation, your essays. We also spend time, kind of with all of those pieces. For our transfer students as well, we extend optional interviews. We really want to try and get to know you as best we can. And we are also test blind. So no SAT, no ACT required. On the financial aid side, our approach to financial aid is through meeting demonstrated need. So essentially, we ask for kind of two documents to be able to do that. One would be a FAFSA, and the other would be a CSS profile. And essentially what we can do with those two pieces is we can see exactly what your need would be for you to be able to attend. And then we meet that need through a combination of grants, loans, and then work study. And the nice thing with that is usually about 75, 80% of that is grants. So the vast majority of the aid that we do offer is in that bucket. And about 95% of students who attend Reed utilize financial aid. But always happy to be a resource for you with questions. I will share my information in the chat box. Happy to help however I can. And I would lastly end that we are meeting students wherever they are with visits. So if you happen to be in the Portland area and would like to have an on-campus experience, we're happy to set that up. We're also doing a lot of virtual programming as well. So just to say, we're happy to help with any questions as you consider your transfer decision. Thank you all so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Grant, for presenting on Reed. All right. Well, I do have an update. Unfortunately, the University of Mount Olive is not able to join us today. We wanted to pass along and they wanted to encourage you to check out their website so that you can get more information and reach out to their transfer admissions staff to gain more info and learn about the opportunities at Mount Olive. Since we do have some time together, and I want to make sure that all of our representatives can put any info they'd like to share in the chat, all of our attendees can grab that. And in case there's any Q&A questions that anyone has before we finish up tonight, we do have a few live questions. So I'd love to invite one representative from each school to come back on camera together with us. And then we will get started with our first question. So if everyone could come back on camera. Great to see some more faces here with me. All right, so our first question, we're going to go in the exact same order that you presented. So we're going to start with Jamie at UNC Charlotte, and then we'll work our way through in the exact same order that you presented. When the person ahead of you finishes, feel free to just turn on your microphone and answer away. I won't call on you in between each of your responses to our question. So you are all these transfer admissions pros. And so for everyone who's watching either live or on the recording, what advice would you give someone going through the transfer process? What are some of those top tips that you have? Jamie?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been working with transfer students for coming up on 7 years now. And I think the one bit of advice I tell all of my students is to plan and apply early. So in a lot of instances, especially here at UNC Charlotte, the sooner you apply, the sooner we can make your decision and the sooner you can begin your next steps in the transfer process. Most of the time we want you applying while you still have classes in progress, and applying early also helps you with your financial aid consideration and scholarship application process as well for us. So that application, that applying early tends to always be my rule of thumb, and to encourage students not to wait to those deadlines, those due dates. We want you working on that process well in advance, and know that our team is here to help with that.
Yeah, I would say feeding off of that, just take advantage of every part of the application, especially these last 2 years where there are probably things that are outside of the student's control, whether it be coursework. I mean, hopefully a lot of us have opportunities within the application that allow students to kind of advocate for themselves and give us additional information that we're not going to see on a transcript, that we can't put in an essay question. So that goes with starting early, so you can really make sure that you're sharing your complete story with that college, because we really do want to hear about it. We want to hear about any coursework challenges you have. We want to hear about your background, your experiences. And so don't hesitate at all about advocating for yourself and making sure to take advantage of every section of that application.
And I'm going to piggyback on them as well. Submitting your application early is definitely key. And I also recommend that reaching out to your transfer counselor, asking them all kinds of questions. If you're curious about courses that you're currently enrolled in and you just want to know how they're going to transfer in, ask us those questions. That's what we're here for. So definitely applying early. Our goal is to get you accepted as quickly as we possibly can, because that's going to prompt financial aid to kick in once you are accepted. So definitely, I would say, get your application in early and reach out to us. We're here to help you. We're here to answer those questions for you.
Piece of advice I would share with our transfer applicants is to take advantage of all the schools that do have in-person tours available for you. It's very different seeing a school online and seeing a brochure than actually being there and feeling the campus, not just seeing the campus. Also take time talking to your student tour guides. Those student tour guides know what it's like to be in class. They know what resources are available on campus. So connect with them and have them as a friend before you even start school. And then also, as you are visiting campuses, be open to visiting a campus that you wouldn't see yourself attending. You would be surprised to see what schools that you think you might not be interested have to offer. And that also helps you compare and contrast what is available at different schools. So don't just visit your dream school, visit those safety schools and potential schools as well.
I would say all my colleagues have really great advice. I think, I would definitely echo kind of everything everyone shared, but kind of with all that in mind and kind of thinking about, your list and kind of what's important and thinking about fit, which is definitely like probably very paramount about finding an environment that feels right. definitely stay organized. I think there's a lot of power in just making sure you're kind of thinking about all those factors and you're figuring out a way you can kind of keep track of what's important. So that way, as you're kind of getting into the process, you're not losing track of what's top of mind. So that'd be my piece of advice.
I love the range of advice from logistics and organization and the reaching out early, and kind of to dovetail off what Jill said. I always have to give my own piece of advice too about asking questions. I hope that today gives you insight that the transfer admissions counselors at all of these schools love what they do. They're so passionate about working with transfer students and helping students figure out how to connect with opportunities and about credit hours and just navigate a process that can get overwhelming at times. It's exciting, but it can get overwhelming. So I hope this gives you insight that these admission counselors love what they do, reach out. There's no question too big or too small, and maybe it makes it seem less intimidating. The question that you have is important and they want to hear it and they want to help. So I hope we help put a more personal spin on the transfer process today together too. All right, we've got time for another question. I think this is a great one to help end on for everyone watching, whether live or recording. But what is one thing, as we end today, that you want students to remember about your school and to take away with them as they think about exploring more after this session ends? So Jamie, we'll start with you again.
Sure. So I will say I'm a little biased. I'm an alum of my institution that I work for. And so I always get excited about these types of questions. But I will say the one thing I think I want you to remember about UNC Charlotte is that you can find yourself at home here. We are the largest transfer institution in the state. We love our transfer students. We love what you bring to our campus, how you enhance our community, and how you bring past experiences to make our place better. So I hope you remember that about UNC Charlotte. I hope you look forward to the opportunity that brings you, and know that you are going to get to campus. You're going to make yourself right at home here, and be amongst others that have decided to finish out their educational journey with us as well. And you have a strong community base to make that place feel welcoming and home for you.
I would say at Georgia Tech, one of the things that continues to amaze me when I'm talking to our students is just we talk about that real world experience along with the classroom learning, and wherever you may be coming from is really just kind of taking ownership over your undergraduate education and trying to kind of fit in what you feel like is a priority, whether that be a study abroad or research or a co-op or an internship. I mean, whenever in your life are you going to have this opportunity to potentially do one or more of those activities at one point in time? And so when I hear from our students, that's really what I hear most in terms of like what they've really valued. And certainly it's the community on campus, but I just want to charge our students to think about what's important to you outside of the classroom that you really want to connect with, and make sure that's a priority in those questions you're asking and the opportunities you're going to have at your next institution. Yeah.
So I think at Barton, if you're a student who really appreciates a smaller learning environment, I think if you appreciate the fact that you have a relationship with your professors and your faculty members and your advisors, then definitely Barton is a place for you. It definitely has across the board all kinds of lots of opportunities with clubs and organizations for leadership. But if you truly appreciate being known on campus and being someone who has close relationships with your faculty member, then Barton is definitely a college that you should look into.
Johnson & Wales University, I think what's really exciting is that we have a 97.7% career outcomes rate. And what that means is that when they graduate, almost all of our students are doing what they want to do, whether it's launching their careers or going on to grad school. And I think that's really important because you want to have a great time at college, get a great education, but then ultimately you want to build a life, the one that's really rewarding, both personally and professionally. And I think that rate shows that Johnson & Wales can prepare you for that. So hope to see you here. And just one more thing too is the welcoming, inclusive nature. Because our students come from all over, there's a beautiful diversity. And I think everybody really feels at home here. So hope to see you soon.
Yeah, and I would say at Reed College, you really get the benefit of a small, tight-knit community with a bigger reach. And so, that not only transcends to like the Portland metropolitan area, but well beyond that. So we have a really large kind of alumni network, a really big footprint. And, it's really valuable at Reed that students get the chance to really take ownership for their education. So everyone can kind of like really craft out exactly what they want to do. And you have dedicated people here wanting to make sure you're successful getting there. So just that would be my piece of, advice that I'd want you to remember about Reed.
Wonderful. Thank you so much to all of our panelists today for representing your schools, and not just those facts and the figures and the deadlines and the FAFSA reminders. There can never be too many of those, though. Everyone get your FAFSA spelled out. But also just the energy, the excitement you have for your students' opportunities in and out of the classroom. Even in 6 minutes in these Q&As, it is really apparent how much you all love what you do and where you work. To all of our attendees, thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time, whether you are watching a recording or you were here live. We appreciate that you took the time to learn about these schools. Maybe there's 1 or 2 schools that drew you in, but I'm hoping you've got, now you're 5 that you're going to take a closer peek at after today, because remember, these 6 minutes, it's just a peek at what all of these schools have to offer. There is so much more to learn. All right, now the logistics of wrapping up. When you close the box, you are going to have a very quick 5-question survey link that's going to pop up. I promise it's 5 questions, super fast. We would appreciate the feedback you can provide. We encourage you to check back the schedule for this programming and sign up for additional sessions for Carolina students today. And don't forget, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all of the other session recordings at strivestand.com/Carolinas. So you can watch this again, share it with family and friends, and learn about other wonderful opportunities where you can continue your college career. So thanks again, everyone, for taking the time out today, and best wishes to you and your families this year. Bye, everyone.